Alright, hello America. Michael Mackey for President. That's www.mackeyforpresident.com. Coming at you with another video. Today I'm going to talk to you about redistribution of wealth, which means pretty much social programs. I'm going to start with a quote. The budget should be balanced, the treasury should be refilled, public debt should be reduced, the arrogance of officialdom should be tempered and controlled, and the assistance to foreign lands should be curtailed, lest some country, a republic, become bankrupt. People must again learn to work instead of living on public assistance. Now the reason that I read you that quote was because I was wondering, pop quiz, do you know who said it? Was it Glenn Beck or Ron Paul? Sounds like something I might say. Actually, it was about Rome, and it was Cicero before big government hung him and Rome fell. Rome was a republic, much like ourselves, and if you want to find out what's going to happen to America, all you have to do is go back to your history books. I know, you're going to say, the guy's crazy, it'll never happen, blah, 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 but it will happen. This is a fact. We're headed down the road already. We're almost to the point where I could be Cicero. He was a great philosopher. He spoke his mind. How do I know that the government's not going to knock on my door and take me away next? Because I'm saying the same thing Cicero is. I don't think we're too far away from that point. And I'm going to go on and give you some reference material. This was published in the Heritage Foundation, and it's by Mr. Mesmore. His first name is Ryan. I'm just going to read a couple things. He said, government anti-poverty programs share the flawed assumption that poverty in America is primarily a material problem that can be solved by increased welfare and entitlement spending. Poverty in America is often the result of a relational problem such as fatherlessness or community breakdown, which government programs cannot adequately address. However, the institutions of civil society, such as family, churches, and other associations, are well suited to providing the personalized assistance needed to repair these relational problems, enabling people to overcome poverty and lead healthy lives. Instead of crowding out private efforts with welfare programs, government can best serve the poor by establishing and maintaining social conditions that allow families, churches, and other institutions of civil society the freedom to serve those who are in need. Actually, that concept's been proved time and time again. Benjamin Franklin pretty much said the same thing. Cicero was saying the same thing. Our founding fathers believed the same thing. Mr. Mesmer goes on to say, calling for limited government does not mean ignoring the plight of those in poverty. On the contrary, limited government, rightly understood, is an essential component of a larger framework that benefits people in need. That framework recognizes not only material needs, but also familial, spiritual, moral, emotional, and social needs. This framework leaves room for each institution to play its proper role and do what it does best. It allows families, churches, and nonprofit organizations to meet basic needs, nurture healthy relationships, and develop virtuous citizens. Within this framework, businesses provide opportunities for work and expand wealth, and government safeguards lives, property, and institutions. Together, limited government, free enterprise, and a strong civil society foster the kind of communities that enable people to escape poverty. All right. That might be a little bit complicated, but basically what he was saying is in order for our government and our societies to succeed as a republic, we must give up the social programs. I understand some people don't abuse the system. I believe in hand-ups, not handouts. And I believe that the churches who don't pay taxes, nonprofit organizations who don't pay taxes, and businesses who want to cultivate a good business relationship to the city or state or county that they reside in are well equipped, I'm not really on my game today, to handle social platforms and social responsibility and social hand-ups, not handouts. If you give a person a hand up, they'll stand on their own 2 feet and succeed. You give them a handout and they'll sit down and wait for the next one. That's the way that it is. And you know where we have to start? Giving handouts to the rest of the world. I am tired of sending our tax dollars to the rest of the world. I was just watching former President Carter saying that we should be sending money to different people. I think it was North Korea, because people are starving over there. So, as a humanitarian gesture. I'm sorry, but being ethical and moral is an individual responsibility. I choose where I want to send my social dollars. If I want to help the homeless kids in America, I should be able to do that. If I don't want to help the homeless kids in North Korea, I shouldn't have to do that. Our taxpayer money should go to the federal government to supply them with money to pay for their employees, to protect the country against foreign and domestic terrorists, and not to feeding the world. It's time to secede from the UN, kick them out. It's time to fix our problems before we try to fix the rest of the world's. Sure, if we're all fat, dumb, and happy and the federal government wants to say, hey, everybody's making a bunch of money, can everybody chip in a couple bucks and we'll send it to Japan because they just had a national crisis? Sure, I believe we should do that. And I believe the American people did. I went into many stores that were taking donations for Japan, and then they put up a sign, we donated 10,000 and this store donated 15,000, and that was from individual people coming together and sending their money over to Japan. We don't need the federal government to tell us where to send our money. That's the beginning of social programs that need to be cut and stripped. Other social programs, you're not going to just be able to stop Medicaid and Medicare, but we can wean people off of them and provide other solutions. Same thing for Social Security. Same thing for food stamps, welfare. Jesus, if you gave welfare recipients urinalysis, P-test, at least half of them would fail. I mean, I can't prove that statistic unless we actually did it, but we'll never do it because we know they'd fail, and then the government would lose their power. They would lose that vote. How about if everybody was on welfare? They're not allowed to vote. If you're getting any kind of government assistance, you're no longer allowed to vote until you're off government assistance. Do you think there would be government assistance? No way in hell. The politicians wouldn't allow for it because it wouldn't do anything to get them elected into office. In fact, they'd be powerless. So let's cut the social programs. Let's cut the crap. Let's get politicians out of Washington and put real people like myself in there. I only want to be in there quick enough to reboot the nation and fix the nation. And after that, I'm going to go my own way and live a quiet and peaceful life. Remember, go to my website, www.mackeyforpresident.com, or email me at michaelmackey@mackeyforpresident.com. Thank you very much. I'm out of here.